Nightwave. Imagine my surprise when I found out there's someone else in the system as technologically backwards as the Grenier. A radio broadcast. What? What museum did you rob? Who still uses radios? We have gigantic spaceships, weaponized gravitational field generators, and extreme BDSM massage chairs. Economy-sized universal fabrication foundries became standard ship equipment decades ago. There's a machine intelligence with anger management issues that hands out portable cameras that disintegrate people and turn them into raw Pornhub data. My toilet seat is powered by a fusion reactor. And now you tell me that in this day and age, someone seriously uses the radio as a medium for transmitting entertainment content, or conspiracy theories, or stories about their edgy Grenier OC, or whatever it is. Like, even stories is sort of an overstatement. It's more like a lengthy, really spread out news broadcast. Where is the action, the suspense, the lust and desire, tension, thrills, tragedy, twists and turns of both language and common sense so integral to every proper story? I just don't see that in Nightwave. And that is why I decided to bring you a more quality storytelling experience available through modern, non-radio means. I call it the Stool Broadcast. You know, like storytelling and cool, stool, like growth and profit. No. How about stool wave? Yeah, stool wave, not stealing from Nightwave. Stool wave. No? Okay, let me... Got it. Stool stream. Yeah, stool, that's great. Stool stream. I think that's great branding, and I am never wrong. But if you are not impressed by the name, and why wouldn't you be, I'm going to throw in some super cool, overused audio filters as well. Wowee! Now Nightwave doesn't have this shit, huh? But wait, it gets better. As here, we also have much more quality stories. So listen close and listen good, for you will not believe this shit. Our today's tale of intrigue, violence, and questionable sexual behavior is called Love Rift. Disclaimer: I do not own Warframe or any of its counterparts. Yeah, just if you are wondering, the author does not own that. He's not a DE shareholder, just letting you know. It all started like that. He appeared out of the rift. Blue energy crackled from his coat and hat, and he held out his hand and said nothing. That is how I met the man I met, known as Limbo. And me, Valkyr, almost killed 10 or so Tenno in a fit of fear and rage. Let me start from the beginning though, because you know, most storytelling is actually chronological. Not everyone can write Memento. Let me start from the beginning. I, a simple girl trapped by Alatve, the corpus leader of science and development, and the one who raped and destroyed my living soul and reason to do anything else but hate. I awoke from a nightmarish sleep and was greeted with a sound from the sound of an intruder alarm, and was silently praying that they would leave soon so his anger outburst would be short. But a K-word was said. The Tenno. I never heard this word before, but I dare not ask, as cards flee away in pure terror. I hear one say something about a Zanuka hunter being maimed. This made me tingle with glee, as I hated that being almost as much as I hated Alad. I took my chance and let my hate free. Cold fury filled my body, and my vision blurred to red as I slaughtered card after card. It pleased me to watch the life slashed away from their bodies. I rounded through many hallways before I ran across some cards I did not kill, violently struck with an arrow. In a flash of anger I whipped around and slashed at its sender, only to have it dodged, and I quickly received a kick to the back of my head, which sent me tumbling forward into a headlong plunge into a crate. I got back up and stared at my 3 assailants. One was a thin-looking man with light blue armor with lightning buzzing around him. His partner, to his left, was grey with a sword of energy in his hand. He was the one who kicked me. The last to the right of Blue Man was the Arrow Freak. She was clad in what looked like blue and black feathers. The Blue Bird asked her Blue Man what the should do with me, or it, as she said. I was not going to be called it again. I exploded? Wait. Okay, I exploded at her and stabbed my long energy claws through her arm before she could finish her senescence. And she cried out in pain. Blood splattered the floor and her. I then processed to pin against the wall and dared her to call me it again. I was met after with a throwing knife planted in my back. This hurt a lot, so I screamed out in pain and agony. The thrower was the Electric Man. He quickly said after in young, fearful voice, "Tell us who you work for and we will not kill you. And if you're a corpus scum, then we will end your worthless life." Grr. I replied with, "You attacked me first, and you sound as if you are about to cry. You should really just shut up and let me murder Alatwi before I let my anger out on you instead. Believe me, there is enough for all 4 of you, and every god and mech on this forsaken planet." But then I was thrown to my back with a sudden powerful force. I had forgotten the grey sword wielder. He had his sword swinging at my throat when he started glowing with a sudden energy, and he became transparent, and the blade went through, drawing no blood of mine. Then Limbo materialized before me. He stood tall, dark coat and hat, white collar and cuffs ablaze with blue energy. His face and his looks instantly filled me with this sudden feeling. This was a feeling I had never felt before. This feeling only intensified when he lent me his hand to help me up. I could feel heat drawing up to my face. OMG! I was blushing. I took his hand. He helped me up. I felt his chest. He was strong. But he was strong, but genital, as he... Yeah, that's a really unfortunate place to make a typo. He was strong, but genital, as he picked me up in his arms and cradled me like a child. Under any normal circumstances, I would have killed him right then. I'm so glad I didn't. Limbo turned to the three others and blurted with such a harsh tone, "What the hell was that?" When he said this, the sword dude was put back to normal looking, healed, and fine from his former injuries. I looked up at him in fear, as I thought he was going to let him hurt me. But those feelings were put aside when he looked down at me and spoke in a soft tone that made my heart sing and cry at the same time. "It's okay. I will protect you. You're safe now. You can calm down and tell me everything." I burst into tears and put my head on his shoulder and let it all out. The awful things Alan did to me, the fear and the hate, and how I wanted to leave but stay and get revenged at the same time. The bird lady cried out, "You probably are describing the things you did to our friends." She was quickly shot a look from Limbo that could freeze a sun. He looked at me with his now comforting look again and said, "Ignore Zephyr. She is upset about getting her feathers covered in blood, and you're probably wondering my name. Well, it's Limbo." When he said this, I tried to say his name. "Limbo?" He nodded his head and, "Yes, that's me," is what he said to me. And as the conversation went on, I learned that the Bladesman was Excalibur, and the Blue Man was Walt. He put me down, but I still clinched to him. I didn't want to stop having contact with him. Walt looked at me with disgust and said in a stuck-up tone, "Be glad Limbo likes you, because Excalibur would have killed you and ended your pitiful life right then and there." This comment stung. I pulled myself close to Limbo and buried my face into his chest and felt his heart beat against mine. But with me, at the same time, I wanted nothing more but to sit there forever in his warmth and care. But I was interrupted by Limbo wrapped his hand along my lower back to my shoulder. This made me look up at him. He spoke in a soft, loving tone. "Are you ready to go back to the dojo and have some rest and a little, wink wink, little private time away from Walt, and meet everyone else?" I nodded yes, and he walked me to what looked like a triangle ship and escorted me aboard. End of Chapter 1. Yep, that's it for today. Do tell me how much you love this thing in the comments, and who knows, maybe we can do this on a regular basis. For now, stay safe and don't Well, just don't. Don't.